Hello, this is episode 1 of KeeKee Sports for July the 13th, 2016. This is my brother, the sports expert.
I'm the sports guy over here.
Go ahead and introduce yourself. Who are you?
My name is Mind of MC on Twitter. Mickey Carr. They also call me Mickey.
You should wait to plug yourself at the end.
Pics of MC on Instagram. Get that out there. Go follow your boy.
They don't know nothing about you. Why would they
Yeah.
follow you? Okay, this is Ezra Carr, Ez Coop, in the building. And this is my brother. This is what he wants to do. He wants to go through every team. Free agency, acquisitions, tell him what you're doing.
Free agency, draft acquisitions. God, I can't say the word. I'm already tongue-tied. But basically just go through and see if we think each team got better or worse. Basically, that's it. 2 minutes on each team. We're going to talk about every team in the NBA in alphabetical order. So all the teams get mentioned and all the moves.
Well, let's begin.
All right. You didn't plug Jim. You killed me with not plugging Jim.
Oh my God,
You
that's
forgot
so
about
dumb.
Jim. Our producer Jim is here. We can't make things won't happen here without our boy Jim.
Forcing it, but let's
Whatever.
roll
All
it
right,
right
we're
along.
gonna start off with the Atlanta Hawks. Their biggest acquisition this offseason was Dwight Howard, but they also signed Jarrett Jack and re-signed Kent Bazemore, and they lost Al Horford and Jeff Teague via trade. So they're handing over the reins to Dennis Schroeder. What do you think about that?
I think it's a big positive on both fronts to get rid of somebody that was a curse to our team, Jeff Teague.
You think he was a curse?
His fault, or I don't know who to put it on. He's a little bitch.
Oh, hating on Jeff Teague that hard. That man could play when he wanted to, but it
Just
didn't seem like he always wanted
Happy
to.
to have a real center in Atlanta. It's been a long time.
That's nice. That's nice for sure. What do you think about Al Horford leaving and choosing the next team we're going to talk about, the Boston Celtics, over the Atlanta Hawks?
It's just
Insulting. It's insulting.
It's an upgrade, and I'll make that trade every time.
They were talking about re-signing Al Horford to put alongside Dwight Howard and trading Paul Millsap, but that didn't fall through after Al Horford obviously chose the Celtics. Do you think Millsap's feelings are going to be hurt? His contract is up after this season. Do you think he's gone?
There's no feelings in business.
People still have feelings, man.
Money talks.
Think about Wade this year. People have feelings. Their feelings get hurt even in business.
That's more the fans' reactions than anything.
I mean, yeah. All right. They also drafted Taurean Prince and DeAndre Bembry, who actually both have been playing very well in Summer League, and I'm excited to see them. We're both Atlanta Hawks fans here, so we're obviously biased, but we like the acquisitions.
Stockbridge, Georgia.
Yeah. Jarrett Jack, he's coming off the ACL injury, and they also signed Malcolm Delaney, I believe is his name, from Europe or overseas. And he's probably going to back up Dennis at point until at least Jarrett Jack gets healthy. And if he plays well, he could probably actually earn the backup spot rotation. I'm excited to see them play this year, and I can't wait. All right, that means it's time to go to the next team, Beantown, the enemy of my Atlanta Hawks, and we alluded to it. They obviously got our boy, Al Horford.
Your boy.
Yeah, that sucks, man. I can't believe you left us for them. We just beat them in the playoffs. They lost to Evan Turner, Jared Solinger. They had so many draft picks. I'm gonna go through the names. I don't even know most of these players. I gotta admit I don't watch much college basketball. Jaylen Brown, they got with the third pick from Cal. I don't know much about him. They took him with the third pick. He obviously must be pretty good. I can't even pronounce the next guy's name. Gershuron Yabusele. Try to pronounce that.
We don't have enough time.
Okay. We got plenty of time. We got a minute 13 seconds.
Gershon.
Yeah, Yabusele.
Yubusil.
With the 16th pick.
UBC.
Ante Zizic. Oh my God. Demarius Jackson. Ben Bentil. Abdel Nader. I can't imagine half
Sounds
of
like
these
they're
guys.
signing minorities.
Yeah, I can't imagine half of these guys playing for the Celtics next year, actually. They just had so many picks from trading all their older players, Paul Pierce, Rondo, Kevin Garnett.
Freeing up cap space as well to sign Al Horford.
And then, they obviously chased Durant in free agency, but he chose another team instead of them, so...
He actually wants to win.
Yeah, it's not fair where he went, but we'll discuss that later. The Celtics, I mean, people are saying that they're probably the second best team in the East. I don't know if I'd go that far, but they definitely got better with Al Horford down low. They got Isaiah Thomas running point, Avery Bradley at the 2.
But who rivals them?
Like, what do you mean?
The East is weak.
The East is weak?
You got one glowing...
Cavaliers are first, for sure.
Yes.
And then people are saying Boston. I don't know if I buy it, though. I think Toronto's still better than them. Enough about Boston. Let's go on to the next team.
Are they underselling Dwight?
The Brooklyn Nets. No, I think the Hawks are gonna be good too, man. I gotta see what the team's gonna be like with Schroeder running the show the entire time.
Run that time.
That's fine. There's not much to talk about with the Brooklyn Nets anyway. They obviously got boned by the Celtics in the trades for Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett back in the day, and traded draft picks for them for like the next 2 or 3 years. The Celtics robbed them basically, so they didn't have any draft picks. But they actually did trade Thaddeus Young for a draft pick for the 20th overall pick, and they drafted Karis LeVert from Michigan. He's a point guard. He seems like he's a pretty good player, but he seems to be injury prone, so that's not good. They lost Wayne Ellington, traded Thaddeus Young, and lost Jarrett Jack via free agency. They went inside, signed Trevor Booker and Jeremy Lin. They also signed Tyler Johnson to a restricted free agency contract, but the Miami Heat matched it. Do you even know who Tyler Johnson is, Ezra?
No clue.
Okay, yeah, but they offered him a $50 million contract for Tyler Johnson, and the Miami Heat matched because he was restricted. They also went after Alan Crabb from Portland. Do you know who that is?
No clue.
And they also matched the contract, so they struck out via free agency.
Was it more or less a pissing contest?
Nah, restricted free agency.
Were they flexing their muscles?
What do you mean? Do you know how restricted free agency works?
No clue.
They're the younger players. Like, after their first rookie contracts, they become restricted free agents.
Okay.
So any offer
they get first pick, first decision.
No, they can go sign, let's say, that contract like they did with the Nets.
Mm-hmm.
But no matter what that contract is, if the Blazers match it, for instance, he has to go back. He don't get to choose.
But they get first pick. That's kind of what I'm saying. They get favoritism.
All right, we're moving
on.
We're going on to the Charlotte Hornets. Last year, they actually made the playoffs for the first time in a couple years. They lost Big Al Jefferson. They lost Courtney Lee, and they lost Jeremy Lin, who was actually really good for them last year. But they picked up Marco Bellinelli. That's who they traded for. Roy Hibbert, Brian Roberts, Ramon Sessions. You think how's
Roy Hibbert gonna hold up this year?
Oh man, he's 2 years removed from being a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, and now he's signing with the Charlotte Hornets for 1 year, $5 million, when a player like Evan Turner got $70 million. And big men are at a premium right now. Talk about Roy Hibbert's demise. What do you think it is?
It's interesting.
That's all we get? That's all we got? It's interesting? You know who we played for last year?
If he was not on the Pacers, I do not know.
Oh my goodness, this is our guy that I'm talking to about the NBA people. He was on the Lakers all last year, and he played horrible all last year as well.
But he wasn't alone in that boat.
No, he was with the Kobe goodbye tour, so he definitely got overshadowed there.
That was a full boat sinking.
That was a full boat. They obviously got Kemba Walker running the point. They got Bellinelli gonna start a shooting guard, I'm assuming. And then they re-signed Nicholas Batum. You know who that is?
Yeah, I do.
He signed
former Trailblazer.
There you go.
Number 98.
They signed him to a max contract. And who's gonna run? I know they got Zeller. Man, I don't even know who's gonna be there 4 and 5 right off the top of my head to start. But they'll probably be competing for the playoffs again. I think losing Jeremy Lin and Courtney definitely hurts them. Probably Big Al kind of just slowed them down last year, in my opinion. But they got Batum back. That was their main goal this offseason. All right, we're going to move on to the Chicago Bulls, and I don't understand what the hell they're doing one bit.
They're getting D-Wade.
They got D-Wade, and they got freaking Rajon
They're
Rondo.
assembling the Justice League.
How the hell is Rajon Rondo and Dwayne Wade going to play together? They both need the ball in their hands for anything to happen.
Rajon Rondo and Wade, they're different players. One's a scorer, one's an assister, a rebounder.
Yeah, but the only way Wade scores is with the ball in his hands.
Somebody got to pass it to him.
He's not a spot-up shooter. He doesn't just catch and shoot. He's got to catch, dribble, get a pick, and then make stuff happen. Dwayne Wade is an excellent player, don't get me wrong, but him and Rondo together does not mesh. Yet alone, Jimmy Butler's got to get his shots. He's the best player on the team.
So can Wade adapt? Is that the question of the year?
I'm afraid he might just disappear. You know, his whole situation with Miami was crazy. He felt disrespected because he was tired of taking pay cuts from them. But I feel like he should have went back to Miami. Playing alongside Rondo and Jimmy Butler, I don't see where his shots are going to come from. Rondo, he just stat hunts, or that's at least what he did last year. If he could return to the player he was back in Boston, maybe they got something. I see this could be a train wreck. They obviously lost Powell, Justin Holiday, Joakim Noah, Etuan Moore, and they traded Derrick Rose. I don't know if this team is better than they were last year. They got Robin Lopez, who probably at this point in their career is actually better than Joakim Noah.
I might be getting a little ahead of myself.
Uh-huh.
Where the hell did Derrick Rose go?
Oh, my goodness. You don't know where Derrick Rose went?
Not at all.
We'll save that for later, buddy.
We're saving that one?
Yeah, we'll save. It was a trade.
So I was getting ahead of myself.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
mean, I
another
can
question.
tell you. Yeah.
Rajon Rondo?
Yeah.
Or Dennis Schroeder?
I would take Schroeder right now all day. Prime Rondo, though, I'll take over Schroeder.
1 year contract.
Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder.
Okay.
As of right now,
Okay.
Rondo ain't the same player that you
ring chasing
used to
with Schroeder?
Damn right, I got Schroeder all day.
Okay.
Cleveland Cavaliers, there's not a whole lot to talk about here. They got LeBron James. They're going to be the best team in the East.
Rich get richer?
Basically, they signed Birdman and they traded for Mike Dunleavy, who was a
Does Birdman
shooter
follow
for them.
LeBron?
He didn't until this year. He was in Miami the last 2 years. But they lost Matthew Dellavedova and Timofey Mozgov, who signed that huge contract with the Lakers. Dellavedova got a pretty good contract with the Bucks. He was a restricted free agent, so the Cavaliers had the right to match.
He deserves Milwaukee.
Yeah, that's a good fit. But Dellavedova, okay, he's a restricted free agent, so like I said, the Cavaliers had the right to match. So he went and signed a contract with Milwaukee, and that means the Cavaliers, I believe, had 3 days to match. The second that they announced that Dellavedova signed the contract to begin with, LeBron James tweeted out, "Congratulations on joining the Bucks." So he made it pretty clear that they weren't going to match that off.
You think he jumped the gun, or
Nope, they didn't match it.
He was playing his own cards in that.
I don't know if he didn't want him back, but because the Cavaliers can't match it after your star player goes out there and says, "Congrats on joining the Bucks." I remember when Miami, the year that he left, went all in on the draft for Shabazz Napier because LeBron tweeted he was the best point guard in the draft, and then he left them and never even played a single game with Shabazz Napier. You remember that?
You're the only one that remembers that.
Bro, everybody, NBA fans remember that. Shabazz Napier, they moved up in the draft, they got him. Here, LeBron, stay with us, and then LeBron left and went to Cleveland, and obviously it's working out pretty well for him. They still got J.R. Smith, who more than likely is going to re-sign there, but no, he hasn't been signed yet. But I haven't even heard rumors about him talking to other teams, so I'm pretty sure he's staying in Cleveland. All right, we're going to go on to the Dallas Mavericks, who struck out. They met with Hassan Whiteside at 12:01 in free agency. They didn't get him. He went back to Miami.
They didn't know when to hold him or know when to fold him.
This is the second year in a row they struck out. They got DeAndre Jordan last year, obviously, as everybody knows, to commit to them, and then he backed out of it, his commitment, and went back to L.A. So they struck out again, and then they also had Mike Conley come in for a visit, and they struck out on him too. He obviously went to Memphis. They couldn't match that, though. Michael Conley is the highest paid player in NBA history, if you were not aware.
Michael Conley, I did see this.
Michael Conley is a good player, but he's not that good of a player. All right, but their backup plan, they went and got Harrison Barnes, Andrew Bogut, and Steph Curry's little brother, Steph Curry.
What can you do when you're in Memphis and you're not getting the players you want?
Overpay.
You got to keep the one good player you got.
Overpay. They got more than one good player, but you got to overpay.
Who are they if they lose Conley?
I don't know who their backup point guard is, that's for sure.
They got to do what they got to do.
So what do you think about this team now with Harrison? Their starting five is going to be Deron Williams, who they re-signed for one more year, but I'm not sure he even likes playing basketball. Wesley Matthews. In general, he seems very uninterested like Teague, but Teague seems more interested more often than he does. Oh. And then you got Wesley Matthews at the 2. He's a good player. You got Harrison Barnes, who I'm not 100% sure that he's a very good player because he played with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, had wide open looks all the time, and still wasn't outstanding. And then they got Dirk, who obviously re-signed there, and Bogut. Real quick, you think they're better or worse than they were going to be than they were last year? They were a playoff team last year.
Can they? No playoffs. No
playoffs for the the Mavericks. You heard it here first. All right, we'll go to the Denver Nuggets.
Who needed a name change, in my opinion?
You don't like the Nuggets.
Not the
You
name.
don't like the gold nuggets in the mountains.
I mean, I'd like to own some.
They have a really cool alternate yellow uniform, but their uniforms other than that are hideous as well.
I want strippers. I don't want to play for that team, though.
You want strippers? Where did that come from?
Nuggets are a good thing. Golden Nuggets.
What was that got to do with strippers?
You said, just because you want to own them, means you can have a team name after them?
Oh, that's all right. I guess it's a little reaching, but I feel you. I follow you.
Am I reaching?
I feel you.
I don't think I am.
Let's get CJ to weigh in. Was that reaching? So it was a kind of reach. It was a kind of reach.
CJ wants strippers as well. Let the record show.
Who does not want strippers? But all right.
All right, Mickey makes a point there.
Yeah. All right. We don't really have much to say about the Nuggets, as you can tell. They lost DJ Augustine, but that's not going to affect them. They got Emmanuel Mudiay running the point. He's had a pretty good rookie year, not great but solid. They drafted Jamal Murray out of Kentucky. Juan Hernan Gomez, who I have no idea if he's 7 foot or a point guard. To be honest with you, I wouldn't even be able to tell you with a name like that. I'm assuming he's a big man. But I
assume that he's a Hispanic. Is that safe to assume?
I think that's pretty. The Gomez part, is that what does it?
Or the Juan part.
So you don't think he's Irish?
No.
But they got Malik Beasley out of Florida State. He's a shooter.
Somebody signed DJ Augustin?
Yeah, actually to a pretty healthy contract, too.
That's all I was wanting to know.
You know who? Do you think he's a good player?
I think he's average. But as we found out earlier, not everybody gets what they're paid worth.
Yeah, he got overpaid too, I believe, but I don't think they'll really miss him. They got.
They're all overpaid. Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah,
every player in the NBA is overpaid.
All right, we're gonna move on now to the Detroit Pistons, who were the 8th seed last year and took the Cavaliers to a whole 4 games in the playoffs. But it was actually a tough 4 games.
Oh, a whole 4 games.
Yeah,
they put up a fight.
They actually did, though. I know you're being sarcastic right now, but that was actually a hard sweep. The NBA just changed the hacker rule a little bit.
They finalized that?
Yeah, it's finalized, but it's not.
Thank God.
No, listen, it's not as good as we would have liked it to be as Hawks fans who just signed Dwight Howard. They only changed it to where if you foul before you inbound the ball, it's 1 shot and free throw. I believe the whole game now. So the way to hack a person is over, and the last 2 minutes of every quarter instead of the fourth quarter is that rule. So you can still, the first 10 minutes of the first 3 quarters, hack a Shaq or whoever.
Dwight Howard in this case.
Yeah, in our case, Dwight Howard. But the reason I bring that up is because obviously the Detroit Pistons face that problem with Andre Drummond. They signed John Lure.
Big iCarly fan, I've heard.
I feel you. I'm following you. He was way too big for her, by the way. That just didn't make no damn sense. They got bigger. You know who Boban Marjanovic is?
Boban, of course.
Do you really know who he is?
Good old Boban.
He is one of the biggest people that walk around this earth, bro. If you could, I want you to Google the size of his hands. He is 7'3", and he played for the Spurs last year, and he looks like a Transylvanian monster.
Oh, like Dracula?
More like a vamp. I don't know, like the guy that greets you when you walk in, like, hello. You know what I'm talking about?
What were we referencing here? Did you see a TV show, a cartoon?
I'm trying to think of exactly what I'm referencing.
Dracula's Castle?
That's all we got to say on the Pistons. They'll be a playoff team again, I believe. Something like that. Something along those lines. Like the butler guy that opens the door for you and lets you in. And
Okay.
we're going to move on to the Golden State Warriors. What is there to say about the fucking Golden State Warriors?
Can we skip this?
They're going to win the NBA championship next year. They signed Kevin Durant. I'm not going to go on about how they're going to beat everybody.
I think Milwaukee might have a chance.
Milwaukee really did give them troubles last year, but they didn't have fucking Kevin Durant last
They got
year.
Dellavedova,
They
though.
added an extraterrestrial on their team that was already one game away from winning the NBA Finals.
Dellavedova's going to get everybody ejected.
Dive after knees.
Process of elimination.
Bro, the best thing about the Warriors to me is Zaza Pachulia, my boy, is going to get a ring. Game 7, baby.
They're not going to see it in Game 7.
Yeah, they're just going to sweep everybody. That's not fair that they were able to sign him.
I'm not sure how much FaceTime Zaza's going to get.
But I don't
I
know.
can't believe he's still in the NBA.
He signed a 1 year. He actually had probably his best season last year with the Mavericks. That man was balling. He's not the rim protector they had in Bogut, so I don't know how that's going to work. But it don't matter because you're not going to outscore Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry. That is freaking insane.
What do you think about the problems that Miami faced their first couple years, not before they
That's
got
not going to
Richard?
be a problem. They didn't fit together as well as this team does, in my opinion. Because Miami had LeBron, who needs the ball all the time to make things happen. You had Wade, who needs the ball all the time to make things happen.
I think it's going to be the same situation.
I don't see that. Durant fits in with them. Like Harrison Barnes was getting wide open threes in the finals. That would be
Personally,
Kevin Durant
I think
instead of Harrison
Steph Curry
Barnes.
already holds back the other Splash brother, whose name's evaded me.
Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson.
And then they got David West at the minimum contract. They lost the Brazilian Blur and Barbosa, but none of that fucking matters because they got Kevin Durant. And then they got Draymond Green, who just slapped some guy in the face and went to jail for one night, I guess, but he'll be ready by the season. All right, let's move on to a team that's going to be fighting for second place like all the other teams. The Houston Rockets, they brought out all the stops to try and sign Kent Bazemore. Clyde Drexler met with them. Bazemore talked about they had the, what's it called when you got the phone in your face?
The phone?
The virtual reality stuff showing him, trying to convince him to go there. But
Oh, what were they showing him in a good old VR?
Bazemore did not specify
VR porn?
I don't think that he might.
That's the
he might have
future.
went to Houston right there for that reason.
That's the future.
But they went hard after him. Obviously, he went back to Atlanta for less money than they offered him. They lost Dwight Howard also to Atlanta.
You pre-order your Oculus Rift yet?
I don't even know what that is.
VR porn.
VR porn? That's a real thing?
Yes, it is.
I'm learning stuff during the sports podcast that I didn't think I would learn, to be honest with you.
Oculus Rift.
Wow. All right. They signed Ryan Anderson. Oh, shit. And Eric Gordon and Nene. They signed Nene to a minimum contract. Do you think Nene is going to be as good as Dwight Howard?
A minimum?
Yeah, but they got Mike D'Antoni. You remember Mike D'Antoni? The running gun?
That sounds like a head coach to me.
He is a head coach to you. He is the head coach for the Rockets. He's the head coach for the Rockets now. Alright, I forgot to set the timer off for that one, so quack, quack. It's time to move on to the next one. We're going to go to the Indiana Pacers. They had a hell of an offseason, to be honest with you. They got Jeremy Evans. That's not going to be an impact. They got Al Jefferson for one of the biggest bargains, I think, this offseason, but he don't make sense to me on that team. Jeff Teague. You see what number he's going to wear for them?
I did not.
What number you think he's going to wear?
Not 0, apparently.
44.
Whoa.
Yeah, he picked number 44. Do you see what number Al picked in Boston?
I did not.
42. 15 was retired there. He's going back to his college number.
What is going on?
Did you see what number Dwight Howard picked for the Hawks?
That was my next question. No.
8.
I knew
Number
it was single
8.
digits.
I'm just glad it wasn't 99. But we'll go back to the Pacers because they actually did have an interesting
Like a
offseason.
good old defensive tackle.
They got Thaddeus Young as well. They lost George Hill, Solomon Hill, and Jan Mahimi. Do you think so? They're going to be their starting five. It's going to be pretty sick, nasty actually.
So nasty.
They got Jeff Teague running point. They got Monte Ellis at shooting guard. That's going to be fun just seeing Teague and him play together. And then you got Paul George, who's an all-star. And then you got at the 4, Thaddeus Young. And at the 5, they're either going to start the young man, Miles Turner, who's actually very good, or Al Jefferson. That's a playoff team.
Who do you see as more of a threat in the East, Boston or Pacers?
That's
Personally,
hard.
I don't want to see the Pacers.
That's hard. I don't think the Pacers head coach is very good, and Nate McMillan, but That's the only reason I think I go with Boston is because I think Brad Stevens is a better coach. And I don't know how these guys are going to fit together. Like Teague, when he plays hard, he's outstanding. But who the hell knows how he's going to play there? How that's going to work out? Al Jefferson, he's getting old, but that man still got post moves out his ass.
For fame.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. We'll see.
He's going to do it for his mama.
They got Thaddeus Young, he's crafty. He's pretty good. He's got a little mid-range shot. Their starting five is very, very good. I'm interested to see how that team's going to play.
How deep do they go, though?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
They run deep or they run shallow?
We'll find out. All right, we're going to go to the Los Angeles Clippers next, who lost Jeff Green, who Doc Rivers, at the trade deadline, just traded away a first-round draft pick to get. They lost him in free agency, and they lost Cole Aldridge, who was actually very good for them down the stretch of last year. They signed Maurice Spates, Mo Buckets from Golden State, who obviously didn't have the money to re-sign him after getting Kevin Durant. They re-signed Jamal Crawford and their son, Austin Rivers. What do you think about that dynamic, Doc and Austin?
It's interesting.
That's
I don't think it's going to play to their favor.
He's been there a couple years.
That's
now.
A conflict of interest.
Yeah, like what? I don't understand how that contract negotiations went. Dad, I want more money. Okay, son, I got you. Like, how does that work?
Oh, so Doc Rivers makes those decisions.
He is the GM/head coach, so he does make those decisions.
Must be nice.
I feel like that's kind of a conflict of interest as well when you're doing a negotiation.
Good old Austin Rivers got a job for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I would say so. He acted like he was looking other places, and then he got a pretty hefty contract to go back to L.A.
Till Dad put the hands on him.
Yeah, basically. But what do you think about Jeff Green leaving them after he just got traded there at the trade deadline for a first-round draft pick? Doc Rivers is very bad at trades, it seems. Like, they got him for a little rental, and that was it.
But how did he leave?
What do you mean? Free agency. He just went and signed with another team.
So they traded for him when his contract was expiring?
Yes, a first-round draft pick, too. Like, I don't understand Doc Rivers, a lot of the moves he makes.
Yeah, I think you can hear my confusion.
Like, what do you mean? What are you confused?
He traded for an expired contract?
Well, they traded for him at the trade deadline, so he played the rest of the season last year with them. And then his contract was up.
Did they think they're going to get a championship or something?
They probably did, but they did have injuries in the playoffs.
They're looking short term.
Yeah, that's Doc Rivers is a very short-term GM/coach. All right, we're going to move on now to the Los Angeles Lakers. They traded for Jose Calderon.
Bunch of ducks.
They got Luol Deng, Timofey Mozgov, who was the laughingstock of the first day of free agency because he got such a big deal. Who I believe he played under 20 minutes in the NBA Finals last year, and then he got a hefty contract to go to the Lakers.
Oh.
I actually think he's a pretty decent player, though. He's so big, he gets rebounds, he blocks shots pretty well, but that contract, I mean, it's hard to hate on contracts considering how much the cap went up, but still, I think that's a bit much. They're losing Kobe, which I think is probably actually a good thing for him. What do you think of Kobe's last year?
Indifferent.
Nothing. No emotion. Not even a 60-point game.
What I want to talk about is this point guard that was leaking his, what was his name?
Swaggy P.
No. Well,
Nick Young.
Nick
Oh,
Young.
you're talking about the actual point guard, D'Angelo
Yes.
Russell.
Yes. Is he not, was he the one that's hitting buzzer beaters and whatnot in the...
Yes, he had a buzzer
So
beater
the team
in
likes
Summer
him
League.
again.
They always liked him. He just did a boneheaded move. He's a young guy. You see the
Oh, he's
commercial?
a bonehead.
You saw the commercial where he had Karl Anthony Towns, and I can't remember what rookie was on that. I think it was Ben Simmons, and they were like telling him what it's like to be in the NBA. And D'Angelo Russell asked if he has a phone, and he said yeah, and he handed it to him, and he threw it out the window. You ain't see that?
No, they didn't. They had a couple of chuckles at Swaggy P's expense.
Yeah. And Swaggy P done lost
Failed
Iggy.
marriage?
He done lost Iggy too. That's messed up. But they got the second pick, Brandon Ingram, and they got Ivica Zubac. They're not a playoff team this year. They got Luke Walton as their coach. Luke Walton is the head coach. What do you think about that?
A lot of players turned coach recently.
Yeah, pretty quickly too. Like Jason Kidd, I believe, was the next year.
Low
and
success
Derek
rate.
Fisher.
Lou.
What?
Tyronn Lue being the exception.
That's not the
I don't
exception.
I don't think his
Jason
success-
Kidd is the best one.
You
Out of the
think?
ones, I believe so.
Did he not get...
Derek Fisher was the worst. There's no question about that.
Okay, I was getting confused. I was thinking of Derek Fisher getting fired.
Derek Fisher was the worst. All right. Memphis.
He's just trying to stay relevant.
He's trying, and he's getting his ass whooped by Matt Barnes too at the same time.
Speaking of Matt Barnes,
No, actually, he's not on that team. Players out. Matt Barnes.
but it was going to get brought up.
All right.
Okay.
That's true. That's fair. All right.
Dick.
Obviously, if you don't know by now,
Roll
we're
with the
talking
punches.
about the Memphis Grizzlies, who, like we said, re-signed Michael Conley to the largest contract in NBA history. They went and they also signed Chandler Parsons to a max contract, which don't make no damn sense to me because Chandler Parsons last couple years actually, the whole time while he was in Dallas, was not that great of a player. He was okay, but they needed shooting, and he is not a shooter. He's kind of a slasher as well. Think about the lineup: Michael Conley, Tony Allen, Chandler Parsons, Zebo, and Marc Gasol. Who's the shooter there? They need spacing.
Oh.
Tony Allen can't shoot.
They can
at
use
all.
that to their. They can use that to their advantage, though.
Their whole thing is grit and grind. They got the new head coach, David Fizdale from
They gonna have to
Miami.
grit.
They're gonna have to grit and grind their way
They gonna have
to
to grind.
victories. But man, they needed some shooting, and they didn't get it. They got Wade Baldwin in the draft with their first pick, the point guard out of Vanderbilt. So I guess that's who would have started if Conley. I didn't think about him if Conley went somewhere else, but I don't think he's ready. So he's going to take over the backup point guard role. They'll probably be a playoff team again, but
I feel like we already talked about Memphis.
we kind of did just because of
Conley?
Michael Conley earlier. We were talking about how he got paid.
Okay.
We got 13 seconds left to talk about Memphis. You got anything else? You like their barbecue there or anything?
I've never had it.
Me neither, but I heard it's good.
I do love me a good barbecue.
I enjoy when the Falcons beat the Titans, too.
Speaking of barbecue,
Yeah, what about barbecue?
had me a. What are those sandwiches called?
Pulled pork?
No, they'll come to me. They got them at Burger King. Rodeo chicken sandwich. Onion rings and barbecue on top for $1. I endorse it.
Burger King,
move on.
you owe us money. We just promoted you for no reason.
We probably owe them money somehow.
How do we owe Burger King money, man?
Because we have no viewers.
That's fair. But we're trying to get them, though. Well, we appreciate y'all for listening, if y'all are listening. All right, we're on the Miami Heat now. They obviously lost Dwayne Wade. Everybody's sad about that. But it's probably the right move, considering they'll have more cap space for free agency next year, etc. But it took so long this year that they didn't have money. They weren't able to use that money on anyone else. They lost a lot. Luol Deng, Joe Johnson, and Dwayne Wade. They lost all of those players, and they replaced them with Luke Babbitt. I didn't even know they signed Luke Babbitt. Luke Babbitt looks like Kris Jenner, by the way. Or what? Who's the one that changed his gender? It's Bruce Jenner? He looks like Bruce Jenner.
Pre or post op?
Old pre.
Pre?
He's got with long hair.
I don't know what's worse.
CJ, well, you don't have your phone, so you can't. We need to Google Luke Babbitt so you can see this. All right, but Wayne Ellington, he's a shooter. James Johnson, I forgot they signed him, and Derek Williams. They got two of those guys that can bring down the house. I feel like the only way these guys are going to be in the playoffs next year is if Josh Richardson and Justice Winslow have incredible second seasons. They both looked good last year. They got Dragic. They got your boy Dragic running point.
My boy.
Yeah, your boy Dragic. You like Dragic, right?
From the Suns.
He did play for the Suns. That's right, twice actually. He played Dragic.
I want to take it back to Luke Babbitt for a minute.
Uh-huh.
He sounds like a close relative of my boy Bilbo Baggins from the Shire.
He does not look like Bilbo. He could be related for all I know.
I said sound like.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
One.
They re-signed Hassan Whiteside. That's good for them. All right, we're gonna move on to the Milwaukee Bucks. They got everybody's favorite player in Atlanta, Matthew Dellavedova.
My favorite for sure.
Yeah, we love him here. Fuck Matthew Dellavedova, by the way.
I think everybody hates that motherfucker.
Man, that motherfucker dove at my boy Korver's knees, and he got my fucking boy Horford kicked out of a game, too.
Your boy.
Fucking Horford, man. I can't believe he left us. I'm happy to have you here, though, Dwight. We happy with you, man.
I'm ecstatic.
They got Mirza Teletovic, the shooter that played for the Nets the last couple of years. Actually, he played for the Suns some last year. It might have been the whole year last year. Yeah, he signed there. I forgot.
Name I haven't heard in a long time. Good old OJ Mayo.
OJ? You didn't even hear about OJ Mayo?
I didn't hear nothing.
He got kicked out of the league for substance abuse. For
Well,
the next
what
2
substance
years.
was he taking?
I heard.
Was he sticking his
I
ass?
heard that they only do that with like hardcore drugs, like cocaine and stuff.
Oh.
Not even like steroids, like cocaine.
Like Tyrone Bigum's substances.
Yeah, and that for them to have kicked him out, that had to have been not the first time he was caught with it in his system or anything. This ain't the first
They
time
got a
this
strike
happened.
policy in the NBA?
I think that's right. But this ain't the first time it happened, so he can ask for reinstatement in 2 years. Birdman went through this, and he's still back. He's back in the NBA now, so I mean it's still possible.
Is that a recurrent thing with OJ sports athletes not abiding by the rules of society?
I guess that runs together, but at least OJ Mayo didn't kill anybody. They drafted Thon Maker. You know who that is?
They found him innocent.
Yeah, okay. All right. You know who Thon Maker is?
Thon
Maker. He's
do
the
not.
guy who they drafted with the 10th overall pick, who I believe everybody in the world was surprised he got drafted that early. Everybody believes he's lying about his age and believe he's at least 23. And he's saying...
older.
Yeah, and he's saying he's 19 or 20.
Oh, you did tell me about this guy.
Yeah, he actually looked decent so far in Summer League. All right, we're going to move on to the Minnesota Timberwolves. This could be a playoff team. They got a lineup. They got the rookie...
Brandon Ralph?
Brandon Ralph. You don't even know how to read. It's Brandon Rush.
Played Superman?
I don't know who
In the film
Brandon
Superman
Ralph
Returns?
is. I don't know who Brandon Ralph is.
He's that actor.
All right, we're going to talk Brandon Rush signing. Actually, no, we're not going to talk that. They signed Cole Aldridge, Brandon Rush, and they lost Greg Smith, so that's not big. But really, they got a lot better because they got the draft pick, Chris Dunn. They tried to trade for Jimmy Butler, but they were asking for Andrew Wiggins, I believe, and that's just too much to give up. But this team could be a playoff team next year, and as a Hawks fan, I hope they are, because if they make the playoffs, we get their first-round draft pick.
Via what?
Via trade of Adrian Payne to them.
Oh, they gave us a first-round draft pick for
Yeah,
Adrian
but it's
Payne?
lottery protected. Lottery protected. We would have got it this year, but it was in the lottery.
Adrian Payne?
Yeah, you know who Adrian Payne is.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you know that. But this could be a playoff team, man. Chris Dunn, the rookie, who was a hell of a player.
You made out on that.
They got they got Zach LaVine coming off the bench. They got Andrew Wiggins. They got Karl Anthony Towns, who I believe is going to be a multi-MVP in this league.
Andrew Wiggins
throughout
off the
his career.
bench?
And no, did I say that?
Yes, you did.
I thought I said Zach LaVine off the bench.
No, you said Andrew Wiggins.
Zach LaVine off the bench.
Threw me for a loop.
That would throw you for a loop. Andrew Wiggins is going to probably run 2 or 3. I can't even think of their other 2 starters, to be honest with you, right now. I don't know why. I know they got Gorgie Jang off their bench.
Probably for a good reason.
I'm just brain farting right now. Do they still have Kevin Martin? That's your boy back in the day.
Kmart?
Kevin Martin. They had him at
2K?
least last year.
Had his jumper on perfection
On
on
2K.
2K.
Hell yeah. That little fucking
Lethal.
weird shot. Oh yeah, they got Rubio, but they trying to trade Rubio.
Oh, I'm a fan.
You think...
Who are they trying? Trade him to Atlanta.
Wow, we got 3 point guards now.
Get rid of Kyle Korver.
Well, you gonna have Rubio spotting up for 3?
He gonna dish it for a 3.
All right, we're going to go to the New Orleans Pelicans. They signed Langston Galloway for a point guard, Solomon Hill for small forward, and Etuan Moore, who got a pretty good contract. I guess they're going to use him as a 2. I assumed he was a point guard. They're pretty point guard heavy now then. They got Ryan Anderson at power forward. Or they lost Ryan Anderson. Man, my brain is tripping right now. They lost Luke Babbitt to the Miami Heat. James Ennis they lost, and Eric Gordon. But they did draft Buddy Hield and Chick Diallo. I don't honestly know who the hell that is. But I know Buddy Hield was a hell of a player in college and could help them out.
Excluding Eric Gordon, I didn't recognize the name you said in the past 2 minutes.
You don't know Langston Galloway? He started for the Knicks. We went to a game in the Garden last year, and he was their starting point guard.
I wasn't paying attention.
Solomon Hill is the guy Al Horford annihilated and dunked on last year while we were actually, I believe, at the Nets game, and they were playing the Pacers at Phillips. You remember that?
Nobody loves a anti-hero.
What the fuck does that mean?
He got dunked on, man. That's not the person that makes the headlines.
Shit, that's how I remember a lot of players, actually. Etuan Moore, he played for the Bulls last year. He's a pretty good scorer, actually. You know who Buddy Hield is?
Do not.
He's probably the best player in college basketball last year. He's a very good shooter. He's going to help them, but their problem last year was injuries. They had so many players injured. Huh?
What school is he hailing from?
Oklahoma. The Sooners. And last year they had a bunch of injuries. This year they'll be much better as long as they can stay healthy. Anthony Davis, I believe, lost out on $24 million because he didn't make the All-NBA team last year, and it was only because he got injured. That's crazy.
I do remember that.
That is insane that he lost out that much money. All right, we're going to go on to the next team, the New York Knicks. The New York Knickerbockers, spoiler alert, they got Derrick Rose. No reaction.
They got him back?
Back? What do you mean back?
Okay, hold on. My fault. I was getting people confused.
Who are you getting confused?
You really want to know?
Carmelo?
Derek Fisher. I thought he was head coaching.
That is Ezra's second Derek Fisher confusion today. He got Derek Fisher confused with Jason Kidd earlier. Now he got him confused with Derrick Rose.
I think far too oftenly of Derek Fisher.
You were so excited earlier. You're not excited that he went to the Knicks?
Okay, Derrick Rose is on the Knicks.
Derrick Rose is the starting point guard for the New York Knicks.
Is he going to play?
Who the hell knows? That man is so often injured. Nobody knows. They got, as an insurance policy, Brandon Jennings to come off the bench, who actually I think believes signed for less money to go there. They got Justin Holiday, former Hawk.
This is interesting.
Listen to the starting five. Derrick Rose.
Potentially.
Courtney Lee.
Okay.
Carmelo Anthony.
Okay.
Kristaps Porzingis.
Okay.
Joakim Noah.
That's dangerous.
You think that's going to be a good team? That's the most...
Okay, so now we're looking at Knicks, Celtics, the third team that I brought up earlier, which was...
The Hawks? Pacers? You're not going to put the Hawks up there? Oh, that's disrespectful.
Dude, we got to see all these 10 games. You never know.
I saw a tweet from somebody that said, because these Knicks players are so often injured that they need to donate their team to science. They got often injured Brandon Jennings, who's tore his ACL. I don't know if I wouldn't say he's often injured, but he's coming off a big injury. Often injured Derrick Rose. Joakim Noah just came off a big injury. They had to trade Robin Lopez and Jerian Grant to get Derrick Rose, but I mean, he was a former MVP. It could work out for him. I mean, their point guard last year was fucking Jose Calderon, so if Derrick Rose plays one game, they've upgraded. All right, here's probably the saddest team to talk about. They had by far the worst offseason. The Oklahoma City Thunder. They lost their boy, their love child, Kevin Durant. And with him leaving, Russell Westbrook is a free agent next offseason. So they're talking about, there's rumors going around that he might get traded to Boston because they're afraid he's just going to leave next year. But
in this offseason,
yes, because if they wait till later, I mean, he can only be here. He's only going to be here one more year, and he's going to dip just like Kevin Durant. You might as well get something for him.
What do you think they could get out of him?
It's a weird situation because there's rumors that Westbrook wants to go play for the Lakers. So if you're the Lakers,
wow,
he's from LA. He went to he played college at UCLA. But if you're the Lakers, would you trade for him? Like, tell me what you would do as them.
But what could they give for him other than future draft picks? They got
D'Angelo Russell. They got Brandon Ingram. They got Julius Randle. That's what I was trying to think of.
I'm not even sure who these people are.
They're all young kids that could actually play very well. D'Angelo Russell's the guy who snuck Iggy. Or, God, I can't even think of his fucking name. Swaggy P. Yeah, alright.
Nick Young.
I'm trying to think of D'Angelo Russell's name.
You got it.
Okay, whatever. But they could trade all them. But why would they trade all of them if they think he's just going to come and sign there? But then they run the risk of him not signing there. So what would you do?
Just need to build another team around and make him want to stay.
In Oklahoma City?
Yes.
Russell Westbrook, you see the way he is. He wants to go to a big market. I don't think he's staying. They traded for Oladipo. You know who they traded? They lost Serge Ibaka as well?
I was not aware.
Oh, man, your boy Serge.
He risked not being the star of the team going to another team, though.
Westbrook? He's going to be the star of any team he goes to.
Oh.
He was on a team with Kevin Durant, and he was still the star of the team.
No. Kevin Durant was definitely the star of the team.
They're 1A and 1B. I love Russell Westbrook. I wish he was on my team.
Kevin Durant.
All right, let's talk about this team, which I don't know what the hell they're doing. They traded their draft pick and Victor Oladipo and Ersan Ilyasova to the Thunder for Serge Ibaka. So Serge Ibaka is an Orlando Magic now. And they signed also in free agency DJ Augustine. So there's where he went. Spoiler alert. Not really a spoiler because we're already talking about him. They signed Bismack Biyombo, who had a hell of a playoffs, but I don't understand why the hell they need him if they already got Serge Ibaka. They signed Jeff Green. Also, spoiler alert.
They got a lot of power forwards.
Yeah, and then they got Serge and Jody Meeks. They lost Brandon Jennings. They traded Oladipo, obviously. The Magic, I don't see how all this.
Who do they have at center?
Center is Vucevic, who's a really good scoring center. And
So
then
they got a lot of big men.
they got a lot of big men. It's gonna be crowded down there. I'm excited to see Ibaka and Biyombo play next to each other, blocking shots. But I don't know, man. I don't really believe in their point guard, Elfrid Payton.
So is the East getting stronger this year?
I believe it did. I believe the Knicks got better, the Pacers got better, the Celtics obviously got better. It remains to be seen if the Hawks got better. The Raptors remain about
better.
the same.
We got
The
better.
Heat got worse. I mean, so I believe it's gotten better as a whole. Yeah. The Magic, I don't know if they got better or worse. To be honest with you, I have no clue. Their pieces fit so weird together, and they traded basically Tobias Harris for nothing. And I don't understand what the hell they're doing. We'll move on next to the future best NBA team, maybe the Philadelphia 76ers with the first overall pick.
You got to tell me a lot of things to back that up.
That was too much. That was too far. They got the first overall pick, and they drafted Ben Simmons. You know anything about him?
Nope.
Your boy Jimmy ain't educated
Is he
you
related
on
to
him?
Russell?
No. Your boy Jimmy ain't educated you on Ben Simmons.
He must hail out of LSU.
LSU. He was the LSU Tiger last year, but I don't understand how he could be the best player in college basketball, but not even make the NCAA tournament. That don't make sense.
I played for a football college.
He's Australian. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I just wanted to mention that.
That means he's from Australia.
His coach is also Australian, which is kind of funny, so they know each other pretty well already. They signed Gerald Henderson and Jared Bayless, so they're not doing the tanking anymore. I have no idea if Joel Embiid's finally going to play or not. Do you know who that is?
No.
They drafted
I do
him,
not.
I believe, with like the 4th or 3rd overall pick like 3 years ago, and he has yet to play a single game for him. His foot keeps getting re-injured, and maybe he's going to come back and play this year. We really don't know. They lost Ish Smith, who was actually probably their best player last year. There's rumors that they've been trying to trade Joel Okafor, but I don't understand why they would. He was actually their best scorer last year when he was out there. Ben Simmons, in Summer League, though, he looks pretty fucking good. Like, he's a very good passer. He's like 6'8", but he's basically a point guard, but they're going to probably play him at small forward.
You been watching Summer League?
You know I watch Summer League. I'm a basketball snob. I watch Summer League.
You're a snob.
Hey. That's messed up. They're not a playoff team by any stretch, but
Little Sleeping Beauty over there.
they're definitely better. We got our cousin CJ just napping over there. I wish I could have a video to show you guys. He's just out. We bore him to death.
Beautiful creature.
We're boring him to death with Sixers talk. Hopefully you guys aren't being bored to death like him. That ain't a good sign. That's not a good sign. Alright, we're going to talk about now the Phoenix Suns. They signed the Brazilian Blur. Both their signings actually played for them previously. Leandro Barbosa and Jared Dudley.
Oh, that's my era of the Suns. They forming back together.
Who else they need? They need Steve Nash and Amari?
They need Steve and Amari, and they need a little bit of that. Now I'm thinking a different team. All right, move on.
Move on. Jason Richardson. You thinking Jason Richardson?
No, I was thinking Kevin Martin, but then I was thinking of the Rockets.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing.
They do need Jay Rich back as well.
I don't know how Jared Dudley keeps tricking NBA teams into paying him because he is not a very good player at all.
He's not worth his defensive charm.
No, he seems like a nice and funny guy, but that man is not a good basketball player. He can
Some
shoot
teams just need to fill
sometimes.
out their roster, though. You know,
They be signing him as like a vet leader and all that. Like maybe he is that. I don't know about that, but on the court, he does not seem like that good of a basketball player to me. When he's hot, he can shoot a little bit, but I can shoot a little bit.
I bet he balls in practice.
I mean, he would destroy me in one-on-one, but he's
There's no
an
question
NBA
about
player.
that.
Not even close, but God, they had the 4th overall pick. They drafted Dragon Bender. That man's name is Dragon. It looks like Dragon, but it's not.
Dragon, okay.
Bender.
I'm a fan.
I don't know what the hell they're doing there either. They already had Alex Lynn in that
Best
position.
name I've seen tonight.
And they drafted Marquise Chris as well and Tyler Eulis. So they're a young team. They got Eric Bledsoe at the point, obviously. Brandon Knight at the 2. PJ Tucker, and I don't know.
Is Eulis short for eucalyptus?
I don't think it would be short for anything. It just is what it is, man. Eulis is Eulis. All right, next team we're going to talk about is the Portland Trailblazers. They went to the playoffs last year. They surprised everybody and beat the Los Angeles Clippers. It was obviously because the Clippers had a bunch of injuries, but nonetheless, they did it. Did they take the Warriors to 6 games?
You're asking the wrong one, buddy.
You're on the sports podcast, man. I need you to have some knowledge, man.
I'm here.
But they signed Festus Ezeli because the Warriors obviously had to lose him. They traded for Shabazz Napier from the Magic, and they signed Evan Turner. Evan Turner, I believe, to a 4-year, $70 million contract.
So you think that was a bad move?
He's a decent player, but that is a lot of money.
I think he has untapped potential.
That's what I think every team keeps getting tricked into believing about Evan Turner, and then he's the same guy everywhere he goes. It wasn't 2 years ago he was being labeled as a bust and not a very good player anymore.
That's what you're labeling him as right now.
I know he's a solid NBA player, but
here he is.
$70 million, that should be at least. Is he going to start for them? That don't make sense for me. They got C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard. Why? He don't fit as a starter there. They need the ball in their hands, and Evan Turner, the only way he's effective is if he has the ball in his hands. That don't make sense to me. That's not a good fit. And they overpaid for him, in my opinion. I believe Gerald Henderson, who they lost and got paid less money, is actually a better player than Evan Turner is. What, do you think so?
Who are we talking about?
Gerald Henderson or Evan Turner?
Well, it's hard to judge, man. I'm not sure who he is.
This is the guy I'm doing the podcast with, people. He's not even listening who I'm talking about.
I'm learning along with everybody else. I don't know who Gerald Henderson is.
We're going to have a segment after this that I'm going to show you guys.
I'm hoping it's not questions.
It's going to be questions.
Whoa.
Yeah, we got to, after boring people to death with free agency
Be
talk,
really entertaining.
We got to talk something fun.
You picked it.
But this is what I like. I don't know if anybody else in the world likes this, but I like it. We'll find out.
Somebody.
We'll find out. All right, we're going to go to the Sacramento Kings. Did you see what happened with them on draft night?
I didn't.
They drafted a big man named Gorg. Oh, God. Good God. How do you say that?
Go at it. Gorgangus?
Where's the N?
Georgius.
Gorgius?
I thought it was Georgius.
Papagiannis. They drafted him. He's a 7-footer center. So, and you know what DeMarcus Cousins is obviously their starting center.
Yeah.
And after they drafted him, DeMarcus Cousins tweeted, "Lord help me." But then he had an explanation for it afterwards. I believed he said he was doing hot yoga or something along the lines at that time, and that's what it was, and it had nothing to do with them drafting.
DeMarcus Cousins could easily play a power forward position.
That man's a beast. He is really a beast. He's just got, I don't know how to
Imagine
explain
7-footer and the Cousins around the room.
They had a 7-footer last year. They had Kufos, Baldwin Kufos. He's the guy that got left hanging.
I'm not sure you're not making up people.
Costa Kufos. He's a real guy. He's kind of balding 7-foot guy. You didn't see the meme where he tried to get a high five from DeMarcus Cousins, and DeMarcus Cousins left him hanging, and he shot the guns at him.
He shot him guns.
You ain't see that?
Black Lives Matter.
They signed Aaron Aflalo, Matt Barnes, Garrett Temple, and Anthony Tolliver, the guy who gave us free hot tickets that one time. They lost.
Super nice guy.
Yeah. Didn't meet him not once. He left tickets at the will call for us. I was the only person that answered
What was the question?
what his career high points were, and it was an hour later, and no one responded to the guy. And I was like, did no one respond to him? And I responded to him an hour later, and he said, "Congratulations, you won the Hawks tickets for tonight." And he left them in the will call for us, and we went to that game.
Got his answer from Wikipedia.
I googled that shit. I didn't know it was career high.
What was the career high?
I believe it was like 32. But they signed Aaron Aflalo, Matt Barnes, Garrett. I already said all that. They lost Rondo, Bellinelli, Caron Butler, Seth Curry. All right, we're going to move on to the San Antonio Spurs. You want to get it out of the way? Tim Duncan retiring, talk about how great he is.
Can we say that for its own segment at the end? I think he deserves it, okay?
He's a great player, don't get me wrong, but He's
Good
one
old
of the
Timmy
most.
D.
He's one of the most boring players that's ever walked the face of the earth.
When you
Don't make him not great.
When
though.
you earn more than 5 rings, you get your own segment.
He just earned 5, not more than 5.
More than 4.
All right. Either way, they lost Boban. I gotta show you after we're doing this. I gotta show him Luke Babbitt and Boban Marjanovic, and I want to get his reaction on the mic.
Okay.
All right. Remember that Boban and Luke Babbitt.
Boban.
All right. So they signed Pau Gasol to replace Tim Duncan, and they signed Dwayne Dedmon to replace Boban. It don't really matter what they do either because the Warriors in the West. It don't matter what any of these teams do because the Warriors are going to win the championship. But it's still fun to talk about. They lost Boris Diaw via trade. David West. I'm interested. My throat's getting a little parched though. I ain't gonna lie.
A little water.
Yeah, I'm carrying all the weight over here. CJ's bored to death over there. They lost Boban, lost Timmy. They're going to be a very good team next year still. They still got Tony Parker, LaMarcus Aldridge. They got Pop, who's one of my favorite coaches. Manu's getting even older. He's been old, but they're still going to be up there as one of the best teams in the West. Powell, it don't really make sense what they're trying to do though. They're trying to get bigger when the Warriors are just going to run circles around them. I guess they're trying to do the opposite, so where they have to match up with them. We'll see how it works. I don't think it's going to work great, but they're still going to be a very good team.
Before we move on to the next team, and this timer goes off, did you ever see, before we move on to the next team,
oh, okay.
You ever watch the video, or I'm sure you probably known about it around the time that it happened, how my boy Tim Duncan got the double tech for laughing on the bench?
I don't know about the laughing. I saw the one where he drank the bad Gatorade.
No, he complained about a call while he was sitting on the bench, caught a tee, and then the same ref proceeded to call a foul on the Spurs, and he started laughing. Then he caught another tee, never left the bench, got ejected.
I never saw that. You saw the one where he drank bad Gatorade?
Oh, yeah.
That shit was funny. He started sniffing it. You saw the one, I believe, where Manu threw it was just a cup under his butt before he sat down, and the whole bench thought it was hilarious. You don't remember that?
I have not seen it. Let's go back to the timer.
We're going to go to the Raptors. Best season in franchise history last year. Made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They lost Bismack Biyombo, but their main thing, they got their boy DeMar DeRozan back. So their all-star backcourt returns in Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan. Losing Biyombo is going to hurt, but they got Bebe Nogueira to step in. What you think? You think he's ready?
No, I want to see him play. I wish we gave him more chances than we did.
He actually got some playtime last year. He's just so small, he's going to get pushed around.
I consider myself a Raptor fan.
You think you're a Raptor fan? All right.
Don't quiz me. I'm just saying.
He's a Raptors fan. Like. Let's name 4 Raptors.
Last year, I was a fan of the Thunder.
No, name 4 Raptors.
I'm just saying the teams I like out here. Okay? I used to like the Thunder. I don't know how I feel about them now. The Raptors are too far away to be doing all that, bro.
Too far away? They're on the TV all the time.
They're on the other side of the border.
Name 4 Raptors. That's very easy.
Velociraptor.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I didn't think I was going that route.
Did they lose the lunch lady?
4 of those.
I think there's only one Raptor.
I think they lost the lunch lady and Luis Scola. I don't see if they did or not on here, but I believe they did. They lost James Johnson. And
they lost Scola? What'd you just say?
The lunch lady, yeah. Scola played for them last year. You didn't even know Scola played for them, did you? What team did you think Scola played for? The Rockets still? No, you knew he played for the Pacers.
I thought he was out there taking business meetings, to be honest.
Business meetings? You mean serving kids lunch? But no, they lost. They're still gonna. I believe they're gonna be in competition for the second best team in the East again next year. They're very good. Bismack, I don't even think he made a huge impact in the regular season. His biggest impact was in the playoffs, so they'll still be a playoff team. I doubt they'll go as far as they did last year, but they're still a playoff team for sure.
I want to hear top 5 teams for East and West at the end of this from you.
Okay, that's gonna be hard, but I can do it. I'll do it. We only got.
I'm coming up with my own list.
Yeah, go ahead. Get your list ready. We got 2 teams left. Okay.
Okay.
We got the Utah Jazz.
We might as well skip these last 2.
No.
Okay.
What if a Jazz fan is listening and been waiting the whole time and then we just skip the Jazz? I doubt they are, but that would be fucked up.
They got
man.
Joe Johnson?
Yeah, they signed Joe Johnson. They acquired George Hill via trade.
Oh, they making moves.
And Boris Diaw via
I like
trade.
these moves.
They lost Trevor Booker, and they traded Trey Burke for a washing machine, much like Jackie Moon traded for their key player on, what's that movie called? Semi-Pro?
It is called Semi-Pro.
Yeah, and draft picks, it appears they didn't have a first-round draft pick, and they just had some second-round draft pick. But they got Marcus Page out of North Carolina. They could be competing for a playoff spot last year. You remember the end of last year? They traded for Shelvin Mack from the Hawks, and they were so depleted at point guard that Shelvin Mack started like their last half of the season.
It sounds like something I knew last year.
That's something else. That brings up something else I want to think about.
Yes.
How are they just going to give Dwight Howard Shelvin Mack's number like that?
Oh, no big deal.
That belongs to Shelvin, man. No one
Does
else
it?
wears number 8. All right, but we'll go back. The Jazz, this is probably the year that they'll make the step to make the playoffs. They got the Stifle Tower and Rudy Gobert. They got Derek Favors, South Atlanta.
I'm a fan.
They got...
I missed his game when
God,
he came
my
through
throat.
Jackson.
I didn't. I actually went and saw him.
Did you?
Yeah.
I heard it was bad. It was ugly.
It was
For
bad
Jackson.
for Jackson. They got Rodney Hood. They got Alec Burke. They got Gordon Hayward, who there's trade rumors about. And they got George Hill, who's going to be running point, who's definitely going to be upgraded over what they had last year. I think they're going to be competing for a playoff spot if they don't get it. All right, last but not least, the Washington Bullets, a.k.a. the Wizards. They're the who traded for Trey Burke as their backup spot. They replacing Ramon Sessions with him. They got Jan Mahimi, Mike Scott's dunk victim. You remember that now, right?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Oh, forgetting that.
There we go.
Mike
See, you said nobody remembers the victim. I remember that.
I don't remember that guy at all. I just know the dunk you're talking about.
Jan Mahimi, who's their big man, who's going to replace Nene. Andrew Nicholson, he's a decent player, but he's not great. He's a solid fundamental type player. And Jason Smith, big man, who also should be in a business suit and not on an NBA floor. But last year he shot the ball really well. They lost Jared Dudley. Who cares? Nene, he wasn't the same last few years. Garrett Temple, that dude, he plays super hard, but I never see him make shots. Ramon Sessions. All right, did you hear all the Durant to the Washington, his hometown rumors before last year?
No, I haven't.
There was rumors circulating everywhere. That's where he was going.
That's where he's
and all
from?
that. Yeah, that's where he's from. They didn't even get a meeting with him. Durant wouldn't even take a meeting with the Wizards.
I wonder if that played into him going to Seattle Supersonics.
What?
It's close to Washington.
Oh my God! Please excuse him, people. Washington D.C., not
He's from
Washington
DC?
State. Yes.
You didn't clarify. You can't just say Washington, man. You gotta.
Washington Wizards, man, the NBA team.
No, you say he's from Washington.
D.C.
You didn't say DC.
Man, and he got drafted by the Supersonics. He didn't sign there.
Well, that's my point.
What?
Could have met them beforehand. You know, he's like, I want to be a part of the team.
Guys, just excuse him.
Can I say I miss the Supersonics? I wish the Oklahoma never.
Man, we didn't even watch basketball back when the Supersonics were here, so how can you miss them?
I like their uniforms.
They did have cool uniforms, but I don't even think that's the uniforms they wore like as they went out. I could be wrong, but I don't know.
I didn't watch them.
All right, that's gonna wrap it all up.
We ain't gonna talk about
for
Scott
each
Brooks?
Team. Scotty Brooks is their new head coach. I don't think he's that great of a head coach. I thought they signed him basically to get Durant, another person to try and get Durant there because he was his old head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Still didn't get a meeting, so now they're stuck with Scotty Brooks as their head coach. But he can't be any worse than Randy Whitman was last year.
Durant kind of got cutthroat this summer.
All right, so that's all the teams that we're talking about. All right, I want to hear your top 5 Eastern Conference
Top 5
teams.
East. We're going to go Cavaliers first.
Obviously.
And foremost.
Obviously.
Can I go second with... Let me hear yours first. I need... They're all tied in my head, man.
You can't remember teams?
No, I remember them.
All right. First, obviously, Cleveland Cavaliers.
Great.
Ooh, second, I'm going to go with... I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say the Indiana Pacers.
That's your second?
That's who I'm going to go
I was
with.
juggling with them.
Third, I'm going to go... We're doing top 5?
Yes.
Third, I'm going to go...
Don't put your favoritism in play.
I know, that's hard. I wanted to say Hawks first.
You want to say them first?
Yeah, I would say Hawks
You've been
first.
lying to yourself and me.
All right, third, I'm gonna go with. Damn, I just had the team in my head. The Toronto Raptors.
Okay. You're bringing teams up. That
Fourth, I'm gonna go with the Atlanta Hawks. Fifth, Boston Celtics. What do you got?
Let me put Raptors number 2.
Raptors number 2.
We'll switch them with
that's fair. That's
the
fair.
Pacers. And then we'll let the rest ride. How you had it.
You're gonna keep Boston as low as I had.
Switching
People
2
are
and
saying
3.
Boston was gonna be number 2 this year.
I'm switching 2 and 3. I'm not liking Boston.
They got Isaiah Thomas and Al Horford, and then a bunch of okay players. All right, this is where I show them a picture of Luke Babbitt. Everybody,
Who did you compare him to?
Kris Jenner or Bruce Jenner?
Bruce Jenner was much more handsome.
You think? I just swear he looks just like him to me.
His face is not. It looked like he had a stroke on his right side.
That looks like
He might have. Let's not say that.
I'm not saying it's funny.
a really, really, really young Bruce Jenner.
That's what I thought.
If he would have gone the
And
basketball
you should
route.
see his hair flopping around. Oh, look at this picture of Anthony Davis with his hair.
What? Whose lips did they put on him?
Oh, I don't know, but that is weird right there. All right, we're gonna type in Boban Marjanovic. Boban
Somebody in our yard playing Pokemon Go.
Marjanovic.
What's
All
going on?
Mike over here
Images.
ditching out of work to go catch some rare Pokemon.
All right, we're gonna start scrolling through these. This is Boban. 7'3" now.
Dude,
Does he not look like?
he looks like the dude from Big Fish.
Big Fish. I ain't see that movie.
Movie reference.
And he looks even crazier. Like Boban
He looks like a
Marjanovic.
machine.
Hand. There we go. Look how big his hands are.
Was he
Holy mother!
That's a real basketball he's holding.
holding a softball?
That's a real basketball he's holding, man. Let me type in Boban Marjanovic hands. There's one where he has his hands against somebody, and it's insane. Like you think it's fake. Here it is. It's with C.J. McCollum. That's really his hand.
Jesus, that does not look real.
It is real. Here's the real picture.
That's a small man. Or a big.
That's an NBA player. C.J. McCollum's at least 6 feet. That is insane.
That's
unreal.
unreal.
Alright. So, we're going to play the game that I teased. I'm going to name 5 different NBA players, and Ezra's got to guess what team they're on. If he gets 3
I like
right...
that better than you saying this team who plays for them.
Okay.
Okay.
And if he gets 3 right, we'll say
Do I
he
get a
wins.
prize?
And if he gets less than 3 right, I win. There's no stakes at here.
No stakes?
Alright, we can make stakes, but...
You don't have money.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm broke.
Can you cook?
Alright. No, can't cook.
Cook me a hamburger dinner?
Ain't happening, buddy.
What's the point
Bro,
of playing?
I'm naming the players.
Why would I even try?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm
Why
naming
should
the
I even
players.
try?
I'm naming the players. Let's do it. Because I can name some fucking players that you'll have no clue.
No, I'm sure you have a predetermined 5.
No, I don't.
Alright, well, let's make it minor leagues easy for me.
I'll make players that you know who they
If
are.
it was a level select, give me intermediate.
Intermediate. Alright. I'm going to name all players that you know who they are. Alright. I'm going to start off with... We talked about this player and what team he signed for.
Tonight?
Tonight, yeah.
Okay. That raises my chances a good bit.
Luol Deng.
Luau Dangalang. Okay. Former Bull player.
Former Bull Cavalier Heat.
Okay. Magic. No. That's Oladipo. No.
We talked about this tonight.
Okay. Washington Wizards.
No, incorrect.
Didn't Brock want him to come play for Washington?
Brock? Who's Brock?
Our president.
Oh, Barack Obama. I thought you were talking about Brock Lesnar. No, he plays for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay.
All right, I'll give you another easy one that we talked about tonight.
0 for 1.
Pau Gasol.
Okay, now I know this one. This was Spurs.
Spurs. Okay, that was too easy for him.
Ding.
All right, we're going to move on to the next one. Who's a off-the-wall player? Let's see. Let me think. Jeremy Lin. We also talked about him tonight.
I do, in fact, remember this because it was a team with a lot of guards, I want to say.
They're actually pretty depleted on guard.
So it's the opposite.
Yeah.
They were losing a lot of guards, and he was coming in.
I don't know if they were just low on guards.
Midwest team?
Midwest, no.
Middle of the country team.
No. Come on.
Milwaukee Bucks.
Wrong again. So you're 1 for 3. He plays for the New Jersey Nets. All right, we're going to go former Hawk here. We're probably going to do a former Hawk every one of these segments.
Man, can't get out of tri-state area.
Marvin Williams.
Oh, does he play for who he played for last year?
Yes. He re-signed with them this offseason, actually.
Now the question is, who did he play for last year?
And who he's going to play for this year. However you want to put it.
I seen him dunk on somebody last year with ferocity.
What team was he on?
What jersey was he wearing? Oh, Lord. Was he a part of the Bulls? Not the Bulls, the Bullets?
Bullets? That's not even a really big... You talking about the Wizards?
Okay.
That's your second guess of the Wizards that's going to be wrong?
Oh, no. That was not my guess.
Well, come on. Guess something.
All right. West Coast?
No, not West Coast.
All right, let me forfeit.
Forfeit? Just pick a team then. You just got just as good of a chance.
All right. Utah Jazz.
Wrong. He used to play for the Jazz though. We got him on the Charlotte Hornets.
The Hornets.
You feel dumb, or you would have not got there?
I never would have got there.
You would have never got there.
Get them confused for the Pelicans quite often.
How do you get
for
them
good
confused?
reasons? Didn't they switch cities?
The Pelicans.
The Hornets used to be where the Pelicans are now.
Wrong.
New Orleans?
New Orleans used to be where the Hornets are now. And
what did I just say?
You said the opposite, I think.
I said the Pelicans are where the Hornets used to be.
Hornets were never there.
Hornets were in New Orleans.
Yeah, they just changed their name, though. That franchise was never there.
Oh, my God. It's a city name before their team.
No, the actual franchise never was there. All right. Next and last player, even though you can't get 3 out of 5 because you only got 1 out of 4 so far.
We've done 4?
Yeah, we've done 4. We'll do one more. Another former Hawk, Devin Harris.
Devin Harris.
He's been on this team at least 2 years, 3 years now. Okay. And he's been on that. He was actually originally drafted by this team, I believe.
Hustle Gang.
Hustle Gang? Who the hell's the Hustle Gang?
It's a rap group.
I'm talking about... Man, pick a team, man.
Devin Harris.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be a shot in the dark. Orlando Magic.
Wrong again, people. He's 1 out of 5. Devin Harris plays for the Dallas Mavericks, as everybody here who would listen to this knows. And that'll do it for us this week.
Well, timeout. Was the point of this to make your co-host look bad?
Just partially. We're going to do this every week, so you better start studying.
If that was your plan, you failed.
How's that? You got 1 out of 5.
But I made that one look good.
Pau Gasol was easy, though, because we talked about it on the fake podcast
yesterday. You didn't think
yesterday.
I was going to get it.
Yes, I did. I was trying to give you one layup.
Well, give me another one.
Another one? You want to do some more?
I want to end on a banger.
You want to end on a banger? All right. Let's see.
Redemption.
You want another former Hawk?
Probably not.
Probably not? Okay. Let's see.
I think LeBron plays for.
This is hard. It's hard to come up with a player that I know you'll know. Thaddeus Young. We talked about him tonight.
Thaddeus Young. Why would I know where Thaddeus Young is?
We talked about him tonight.
Talked about a lot of people tonight, though.
Come on.
Thaddeus Young. 76ers.
Wrong again. Indiana Pacers.
All right. One more.
You want one more? You're loving this.
I want an easy one, dude.
An easy one? Dwight Howard.
Oh, shit. Atlanta Hawks. There we go.
All right, that's the banger. All right, take us out, man.
Oh, you want me to take us out?
Take us out. Take us on.
All right, well, let me go ahead and plug myself. I'm Ezra Carr at Ezra_Carr. That's EZRA_CARR.
What platform?
That's Twitter for sure. I think Instagram's just EzCoop at EZCOOP. You can follow KeeKee Productions at KeeKeeCast on all social medias except for Facebook. Mickey, are you going to plug yourself or what?
Did I already do that? I already
He kind of plugged himself. Nobody else cared about you at that
Mind
point.
of MC
They probably
on
care
Twitter.
about you less now.
Pics of MC on Instagram. Thanks for listening.
You can email us at KeeKeeCast. Any questions, comment, concerns. We could get a viewer mail segment maybe one day.
Well, if you send us a question, you'll be our first one, and we'll answer that shit on air.
At Gmail? Did I not specify that?
I don't know if you did.
Specify that? It's KeeKeeCast at